Hi everyone and welcome back to Lucky Loaders 15, where I'll be giving you 3 of my best bets for tomorrow's horse racing. Before we get stuck into those, just want to quickly recap on how our selections have ran today. In the end, we have come out with profit and we've still got one more selection to go, which runs in the 7:45 at Hamilton. That's True Believer for Joe Fannin and Mark Johnston. We advertised it last night 7 to 1. It's been well supported throughout the day. Last time I looked, which was around about half an hour ago, was around about a 4 to 1 chance. So at least we are on the right price there, and hopefully the filly can give us a good run for our money. But away from that, we've had a couple of winners. We had a win in that with Pythagoras, who we advertised at 6 to 4 last night, was well supported. Went on as an odds-on favourite in the end, 4 to 5 on I think it was in the end, and I thought Sylvester gave him a really good ride. There was maybe 1 or 2 nervy moments along the way as he looked like he might just be in a little bit of traffic, but once he got out in the clear, he really was able to assert and he was very impressive. And I'll be interested to see where he goes next. He's definitely a horse for the notebook, and he could probably get up to 10 furlongs, maybe a mile and a half. He's Bisophony out of a Galilean there, and I really expect him to go on to better things, especially as well with some nice horses in his pedigree. So definitely one for the notebooks in future. Also as well, Reassurance, that was a bit of a funny race. Came out in a dead heat there, so we had to share the success with another horse, but I thought Ella McCain never gave up on the horse. She asked him for his all and he was able to deliver, and even if he had just got pipped, we put him up at 7 to 1 each way, you know, so we would have got the each way money back. But I'm just glad, you know, the horse gave us all and gave us a good run for our money, and he was able to justify it in the end by running a very good race. And also as well, I thought the race really was very weak, and he'd come in showing a lot of good form recently for the kind of race it was, and in the end he showed that he still retained it. So yeah, it was a nice performance there, and I would definitely maybe keep him in the notebook for future races of that kind of grade. So Reassurance, definitely one not to give up on next time out. El Picador was a disappointing runner for us, the next best for Keith Dalglish and Franny Norton. Don't think he liked the track. I don't think Franny got him into the best position, kind of got him in a pocket early on, and if he was ever going to make any kind of run, he was never going to get out. He's probably a horse I think I might put a line for it, maybe a track like Musselburgh or something like that would be maybe something I could see him running well at. But El Picador for me, I think the handicap's kind of got him where he wants him, and yeah, I think he's just a horse that, unless we're going to be starting to see Keith Dalglish coming into form, I probably wouldn't want to back again, and unless he was maybe running at a different track. So yeah, disappointing there with El Picador. And then also as well the Longshot. I know some of you could be going, why did you put a 33-40 to 1 shot up with Corazon Espinado? That's because he's really well handicapped and he does really well in the all-weather, and I just think today it might have just been a warm race for him in the end. He might have needed it too, but if you went back through his form last year, he tended to go okay after a break and run well at massive prices. He's not going to be the horse that you want to get stuck into at a shorter price. You want to back him small stakes at a big price, you know, because that's the way he often props up, and I think he's definitely one not to give up on. And if the handicapper can drop him a couple of pounds, I'm sure he'll be running some good races again, maybe on the all-weather later in the year. So definitely one to keep in the notebook for future. And yeah, all in all, it's not been a bad start to September, continuing our good form ever since we started covering British racing again from the 1st of June. We've been up in profit every single month in June, July and August, and fingers crossed we can continue that trend in September. Anyway, enough of me waffling on. Let's get on to the business end of things. 3 tips tomorrow, where we're going to be focusing with our first tip in the 350 at Uttoxeter, and I'm going with my nap here with a horse called Perfect Myth, Myth for Bryony Frost and Neil King. Now this horse used to be with Harry Whittington, but ever since it's been with Neil King, it's just been starting to show some signs of ability, and last time was definitely the best run this mare has given so far with being part of that team. She finished second at Uttoxeter behind Amy Murphy's Lily Pad, who I think was quite a well handicapped horse that day. And if you actually look back at the form of that race, the 3rd place horse actually has some form tied in with the Neil Mulholland runner tomorrow, Green or Black, who we actually put up last time. at Stratford-upon-Avon, where they met Green or Black that day, finished in 3rd place and ran okay, but is a hard horse to win with. But I just think Perfect Myth, even though she was raised £2 for that effort and is off a mark of 109, she's actually going to be fairly well treated at the weights tomorrow, and if Bryony can get a good tune out of her, I think she's got very solid credentials, and she still might have a little bit more to come. Also as well, it's going to be a second run after a wind up, which is an angle I normally tend to like. It's been proven, or the assumption anyway, that was already previously there, that a horse tended to improve the second time, especially in the National Hunt game after they've had a wind up. It seems to suggest that it is a good trend to follow, and I think this horse can benefit from that tomorrow. And I just think the drying out ground, that's going to help. And off a mark of 109, I think this mare is very capable in a race of this nature. And if she runs like she did last time at Uttoxeter, she's definitely a major player in this race. So for me, Perfect Myth at 3-1 is the current price. It's going to be my nap tomorrow, and I'll be disappointed if she couldn't go quite close. We then go to the other jumps meeting of the day at Hexham, a track I always like, a very picturesque track in the north of England. And as my next best tomorrow in the 525, I'm going to go with a horse here called Melody of Scotland for Richie McLernon and Ben Haslam, both in really good form at the moment. Richie McLernon, he had 5 winners the other week at some ridiculous prices, but this Melody of Scotland at 7-2 has been well found in the market, and you can see why. Now, I think you have to forgive the run, obviously, last time out at Uttoxeter when she finished in 9th place. However, the form of that race has worked out quite well, and it was quite a warm race for the grade. You had get back, go and win again, or go on to win, I should say, at Uttoxeter for Harry Fry, and also as well you had Swathen Bullbeck, who I think was previously trained by Ollie Murphy when he was running in that Uttoxeter race, gone to Brian Ellison, and that one at Sedgefield last week. So the form has worked out not too badly. And if you look at the horse from last season, she actually improved dramatically from her first run when she was tailed off at Kelso. She then went on to win a couple of times at Hexham, and running at this track is definitely positive. It's quite a quirky track. It's quite a steep track. There's a lot of undulations and a lot of up and down, and a lot of horses don't seem to handle it, but the horses that do tend to keep running their races all the time there. And I think Melody of Scotland fits the bill. And like I said, with the recent run, with the yard in good form, operating at a 25% strike rate, the form of the last run as well working out not too badly. That's why the handicapper hasn't dropped her a single pound for that run. Now, she could maybe a little bit high in the weights for some, but I think she might just have a bit of flexibility here off a mark of 120 in this company. And for me, I think she's got solid credentials tomorrow of being there or thereabouts. And at 7-2, I'm going to take a chance on her as my next best. We then don't actually have to wait too long with our final tip, which is my long shot of the day in the 535 at Wolverhampton with a horse called Too Shy for Richard Spencer and Hollie Doyle in the Phil Cunningham colours. Now this horse, Too Shy, you're currently back at 12-1, and I'm going to recommend an each way bet here. Now Hollie Doyle, we know she's doing very well at the moment on the cliche crest of a wave. And she's got a good chance here on this horse tomorrow, I think, who she's ridden quite a few times during her career. Now, the last time we saw this horse run was when she finished in a race at York, when she finished 4th to Oti Mobote of William Haggis. Now, Oti Mobote was a very compelling winner last week at Goodwood, absolutely bolted up for William Haggis, and there's definitely a filly going places in the colours of One Master, so you always want to respect those colours, especially as well when they're trained by William Haggis. But so the form there at York has been boosted, and also as well the 3rd place horse in that race, I think it's called Ziziania for Roger Varian, that went on to win on its next start at Salisbury. So the form of that race is looking not too badly. Now, she is going to be having to take on some of the boys tomorrow, but she's a horse that likes to get on with things. She likes to race up the pace, often make her own running, and she does really well on the all-weather. She's got a record of 2 from 5 on the all-weather, with I think it was both of those wins coming at Lingfield. But still, I think going towards the front tomorrow, Hollie Doyle might be able to judge it spot on. I think we normally see Hollie at her best when she's riding prominently, I think she's very good setting the fractionals and judging them to perfection. And I think she'll definitely get a tune out of this Too Shy tomorrow. And I'll be disappointed if we weren't there or thereabouts at the end of the race. You know, obviously it might set up for a closer, but at 12-1, I think that's a fairly biggish price. And like I said, Hollie knows this horse really well. She's won on her a couple of times before. I think she rode her as well last time at York. So there's a lot to like and a lot of ticks in the boxes for this horse to run a promising race tomorrow. And for me, I think she'll be there or thereabouts. And also as well, I should have mentioned that dropping back into 7 furlongs will suit her too. She's probably more effective over 7 furlongs than a mile. So yeah, fingers crossed tomorrow for Too Shy. I think there's a lot of things in her favour, and if she can give us a good run for our money at 12-1, I think she can go very close for us. So they're the 3 best tips for tomorrow. Quickly just recapping: the 350 Uttoxeter, Perfect Myth is my nap at 3-1. My next best is in the 525 at Hexham with a horse called Melody of Scotland at 7-2. And then my long shot runs in the 545 at Wolverhampton, Too Shy for Hollie, Doyle and Richard Spencer. And fingers crossed we can have a good day there. So yeah, if you haven't done so already, please make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel at LuckyLoaders15. Also as well, if you want to follow me on social media, you can do, where my handle is at LuckyLoader15. And if you want to find out a little bit more about myself, why do you not check out my website, which is www.chrisloaderracing.co.uk. The website address is in the description box below, as well as the profit and loss. So make sure, if you want to find out all that kind of stuff, you check out the description box. But enough of me talking about that now. Hopefully we can have some winners tomorrow. Please gamble responsibly, and we'll be seeing you soon.